Hi everyone, it's Kasia from Tarot Map. I was asked to talk about how I use the wands with tarot and just to speak about the wands and connection to tarot cards and how they can be used in general. So just briefly for an introduction, I have been making wands since end of 2010. This is my job, that's what I do. And since I started doing it, I have mentioned this in my previous videos, my life has changed 360 degrees. In some way, I always say that like crystals came into my life, they reversed it or moved it forward, changed it in many possible ways, and since then I have been working with crystals a lot, and there is not a day that I don't play with stones. By stones I mean crystals as in minerals, but also rocks and stones that I found during my trips or that the earth just kind of puts into my paths, you know. I always keep my eyes open for nature signs, and when it comes to the wands, I never break any branches, so I usually just find branches. Like, how cool is that? That looks like Pan's leg. So I usually find branches that lie on the, on the ground, and just because I don't feel the need to break branches off if there is so much richness under my feet, and most of the time I do work with driftwood. Working with driftwood is fascinating because they amazing shapes, first of all. Second of all, they were, bathed in salt water, so it's hard wood. Even though it's not very heavy, it's quite light, but it can be used in many different ways, and one of the ways is to create a crystal tool, connect stones and wood. So what is a wand and why wands? To me, and this is my opinion only, so I want you to bear it in mind, there's a lot of people and everybody can use any tool in any way they wish to. Same with tarot cards, we all use them in different ways. To me, wands, first of all, wand as per se, just objectively, is a directive tool. So you direct energy or focus energy by directing your wand towards a point. So it's a focusing, directing, and energizing tool, and it can be used in many different ways. In this video I would like to speak more about how you can use wands with tarot cards, and how can you use wands maybe in magical practice. So for me, I really love to use wands via ways of my imagination. This is how I pick the branches, this is how I create tools. I use my imagination, and I think imagination is really a gateway, an opener, a gate to your intuition and to connecting with something amazing, alive, that lives in each one of us and in the whole universe. So by imagining things, just trust what your imagination tells you. So when I see a wand like this, let's say, my imagination went straight to the shape of the wood, which reminded me of the moon. And then I added a little quartz with iron for the base chakra. Then I found a little quartz with chloride for the heart chakra. And then I found those two beautiful clear quartzes for the crown and just in general to connect to the cosmic energy. I painted the moon, and to me this is a tool. First of all, it's aligning my energy body in my imagination, but also when you make it or when you purchase a wand like this is made with an intention as well. And also you personally, even when you don't make it personally, but you can personally add and create a personal connection with a tool. So if you purchase a tool from somebody, if it's a wand or if it's you know, a smudge fan or whatever, you make a connection with your tool, and the more often you use your tool, the more empowered the tool becomes, and the more empowered the connection and your magical workings becomes, because of the strong energetic connection you can produce through using the tool over and over again. It's the same like using the same deck over and over again. At some point it just starts talking to you. So the wands can be used in many ways, as I said. I mentioned a few, how I most often use them. So I use my wands in meditation. So basically I just sit with them and let the impressions from my head, my thoughts, sound, smell, you know, like we have different ways of getting the impression into our system through feelings in my body, through emotions. I allow myself to just experience what I feel under my hands. I touch the wood, I touch the stone, I touch two of them together, I switch holding the wand in different hands. Very often I use creative writing. I love looking at crystals, looking for different you know, imperfections and little things. They catch my attention. Like for example, here the iron has this little iron wave here made from iron itself, and there is some imperfection on this quartz, but from this side it looks, you know, like a little cloud. So that I just let my imagination go and really trust it and go with it, because imagination is something really incredible. It kind of seems like it's just bullshit because you just imagine this, but in some way you imagine it, you know, like you can go there with your imagination. It can manifest later on. It can even be a seed to something important. So I wouldn't just discard it as something like, oh, I just imagine it. It's not true. You know, everything that is manifested in this reality comes from somebody imagining it. So don't discard your imagination, and whenever you have a tool to work with your imagination. See, this one can look like a maybe like a regal tool, right? Like an empress and emperor. I call it my witchy tool just because it's with Tektite. It's got the fire opal here, which is like if you wet it, it's got amazing colors. I don't know if you can see, it changes. And here it's got a little garnet to ground the energy. It's got a feather of the frog mouth, some beads. So it's one of the old tools, and this is a grounding tool, a protective tool. But I also thought of it as a tool to, you know, like make my energy go and strengthen my energy. And each of the wands that I have, it's to gather my energy and then focus my energy onto something. If I want to focus on communication, or if I want to focus on a work on some issues, like I can't say sorry to somebody, or I don't understand what's going on, I can always use a crystal, a tool, or a wand to like make me understand better. And it's not to say that this wand is going to make me understand, but first of all, I can focus easier because I have a tool. I can use the energy of and the resonance of the stone that in my head works really well for the issue that I want to work with. And when I hold it, this is something in this reality, in physicality, that helps me to discover something from my psychic realms. So it's like a bridging. I would say that tools, wands, are like bridges between two different worlds, and they helped you to use the psychic kind of waves in this reality, in this physical reality. So the wands can be used as I said, in meditation, they can be used with tarot cards. And how? For example, you can use a tarot deck to say, what do I need to know right now in regards with what the wand is, for example, telling me. So let's say the moon wand, I would ask what cycles am I in right now? What cycle am I living? What cycle am I in? What cycle am I going to? What should I know about my own personal cycles? This is my kind of mixed one, but I call it the whale wand, because here it's like a whale, so this is an eye. I don't know if you can see, but yeah, the brown just reminded me of a whale. So it's got Larimar, which is connected to Hawaii, you know, and the seas. There is Moldavite, and there's Malachite. Malachite is quite a fiery stone, but the Moldavite is also, like, you know, airy, coming from the air into the earth as the meteorite, and Larimar, kind of watery hard stone. So it's a bit of a mixture, but to me this is a one that I like to use when I feel emotional, or when I want to feel emotional, when I want to connect to my emotions. And then I grab that tool, you know, and I sit with it. And you need a little bit of time to work on these. Like, sometimes it doesn't just happen. You kind of sit, and when you have expectations, you can, you know, you expect something, to feel something, you expect to hear something. Just relax and play with it. If you don't feel anything, maybe just write, I don't feel anything. What do you want to tell me? And when you sit with it and start writing, even bullshit as it seems in the beginning, at some point when you start writing and not really coming from your head, but it's just writing, creative writing, there are messages coming from imagination and from the tool, or maybe how you want to use this tool right now, or what this tool is helping you to deal with in general. And so there's many different ways. So this wand, for example, is my engagement and my wedding wand. So you can use a sacred tool to remember certain situations in life. So this tool was used first in my engagement in Australia, and all my friends were telling wishes to me and to my husband, and they hold that wand, and they kind of put all their love into this wand. And then I took the same wand as a wedding kind of bouquet, like it had roses around it, but I was holding onto that wand. And in this way, my friends from Australia who couldn't come to my wedding were also with me at my wedding day. So crystals and tools like wands, they have encoded memories also. You can encode a tool with your memory. So that's why I said that the more you use a tool, the more power the tool has through you. Of course, I believe that, you know, crystals have their own power, and that's why I love them so much. But also I believe that this is a two-way street. It's not that the crystal will do things for you in your life, change your life and so on, but it can inspire you, like the tool. It can inspire you, it can make certain things more important than others. It's to focus your energy, to make you directed. Like this tool I made to myself because I wanted to get a crystal from Australia, and when I went to Australia this year, so I brought myself this tiny little smoky, and I remembered that I had this beautiful branch that had like a nose here, and I remember that beautiful bull agate that looks like an eye. So I thought I'm going to make myself a wise man, you know, little wise man, as my connection to Australia with the smoky quartz. There's also, you know, this first wand of transformation that I made, and I just love this tool just because it's first of all, that holds encoded memory as a transformation that took part in my life through making the tool, so through connecting with the tool. And it holds a kind of energy of creativity for me, of open heart, of trusting, of passion, being empowered to do something you really like. So that's what a tool can do when you make a connection with a tool. This is the first one that I purchased myself, and this is my Nomi tool, you know, connects me to the earth, and it's got this clear quartz that it's not very maybe clear, but it has a gorgeous branch, and it reminds me of my connection to the earth and to Australia as well. So that's pretty important. And also, you know, the Sufi tool, the branch that I found on the top of the mountain in Velebit in Croatia, which is my Sufi tool. This is his nose, his eye, his mouth from Moldavite, his turban, and you know, the clear quartz and Larimar, and this amazing branch that went through all the elements, you know, the storms, the snow, the heat, the summer, the rain, water. So it's amazing, and this is a very wise tool for me. I spoke about this tool before. Whenever I need to make a decision and I'm split or I'm not sure, I love to connect to this branch when I need power or feel like want to be consciously empowered, when my ego wants to do one thing, but you know, my kind of consciousness goes slow, slow, slow. I grab this tool because this tool seems to be giving me this sense of wisdom. And the wearable ones that I have, so I pulled this one on today because this one has aquamarine and quartz, and I love using it when I speak. Aquamarine also very beautiful stone for the throat chakra, but also for the heart chakra when you need to express yourself. The labradorite, I love labradorite. This one also, you know, I love inventing things from my imagination. So the stone reminded me of the moon, so I just made a starry night, you know, and spiral energy, very goddess-like energy. There's a high priestess wand with the one of my power animals, which is Sroka. What is it in English? The white and black bird with long beautiful tail. I forgot now. Oh, magpie, yeah, that's what it is. So here we have this gorgeous branch with, you know, that womby kind of. We've got the black obsidian and that beautiful quartz with rutiles as well, and the feathers. So each of the tools like just reminds me of something. And so I've got all these tools available right now, and so we have, and when I make them, like this batch came to life through the two major eclipses recently, but also through many, you know, new moons and full moons, because my creativity wasn't feeling very up, so I was doing them quite slowly. So this is with blue lace agate, and I call it dreaming. It's kind of reminds me of the belly of the goddess also from the branch, you know. So when you wear it, you can wear it longer, or you can wear it longer, or you can wear it shorter, like I wear them. And there's a tool that I call Listen to Your Heart, because it comes with this gorgeous amethyst and with the ruby inside. So again, it's a double quartz. It can be worn longer or shorter. There is this amazing one that I call Anchor. It's with Baltic milky amber, so it's very raw. It's not polished. It's got blue jays feathers. It's got this amazing driftwood and a little bead of scully. So it's got like this connection to ancestors also for me, and you know, anchoring you in your own wisdom. And there is Muna, how I call her, so like a moon wand, but I added an A, so this is Muna. It's got this amazing kind of cool quartz with little phantom inside, but it can be barely seen because it was very on the bottom of the quartz. And I also added a fire element for protection and to this one. And there's this amazing wand which I'm thinking maybe I should add like a little feather to, because I call it abundance, because it's got this fantastic quartz with rutiles, golden rutiles, so it's all like gold, and I added like, you know, gold, kind of symbol of a sun or gold in alchemy, and it's two sides to the wand, and I thought maybe an owl feather or something, maybe a turkey would be great for abundance. So anyway, these two, as you can see, there's a tool for everything, and I myself have quite a lot of tools that I you know, love to wear depending on situation. And now when it comes to tarot cards also, I use ones for aesthetical reasons as well. So sometimes certain deck just goes with the wands. Another time when I do, for example, chakra readings, I used to want to strengthen certain chakra when it comes up in the cards as a weaker one. I use wands with tarot, as I said, to if I do manifestation or ritual work with tarot, to strengthen certain quality that I'm working on, to release or you know, kind of cut off certain energy patterns. I use wands as energy balancing kind of tools, as an energy balance or energy massage type of thing. With tarot cards, you can do interviews about your wands or your connection, how you can strengthen certain wand, or how a wand wants to be used at this particular time. I use wands and tarot when I, for example, do readings for people to strengthen. I put some few wands around to strengthen certain energy if I can see that the person struggles with that particular archetype or card. Like if somebody's working on their self empowerment, I can use some wands to you know, like strengthen that archetype and energetically ask a prayer, ask for empowerment from that person. Any other way I use wands? I just love in general magnifying, because wand can magnify energy as well, magnifying certain cards if I want to magnify certain or reduce the energy of certain ones. And as I said, for beauty reasons, so I love to sometimes combine decks to certain ones, or if I feel that a particular deck is very lunar, then I would use this one, or if it's a very, you know, Kali-like or dark goddess-like, I would use my Baba Yaga wand. For my, you know, different types of spiritual decks, I might use my Sufi wand. So this is how I use the tools. And as I said, I just love making a connection with the tool, and I would highly advise you, if you purchased a tool from me before, or if you're making your own or purchased a tool from somebody, to use it, to make connection with it, to sit with it, to write about it, to pull cards to tell you about what they want or what the connection with this tool is for you right now. It can change, so check up in a few months again, pull oracle cards for it, learn about the stone, see how it makes you feel when you hold it for a little longer. Silence yourself so you can listen, and don't get your expectations to cut off your imagination. Imagine things about the wands. I think it's a beautiful way to work with the tools and to make the tools work for you, because as soon as I hold this one now, I instantly feel like realigning my energy, because I know what this tool is about. I also think about my cycles, where am I? So the tool also reminds you about things, and it focuses your energy on what you kind of build as a connection with a tool. I am more than happy for each one of you to go on and try and make your own wand. You know, it's much fun. I encourage you to do that. But please don't ask me, don't send me emails how I attach the stones. At some point, I'm really planning to do a little instructional video where I want to put all my know-how I gathered over all these years, and maybe, you know, just sell it for a few bucks. So if people are really interested, they can just get it and learn. Other than that, there's heaps of videos on YouTube by other people. You can try by you know, using different things. I just say that in the beginning I just used tape and it was fine, you know, it worked okay. So that's just a disclaimer. So I hope it's helpful. Thank you for the question. It was somebody on Instagram who asked. I'm going to upload the video now and I hope you enjoy it. So nice to connect to you guys, and I hope this was helpful for you. Bye!